In Philadelphia, it said you can't fight City Hall. For a lot of the 48 years on Broad Street, the Flyers in orange and black fought about everybody else. Jake Voracek wears orange and black. He's been at or near the top of the league scoring race all year, but has other concerns. His team is trying to stay alive for a playoff berth. Rick Nash of the Rangers is second in the goal-scoring race with 37. He has other concerns, catching the New York Islanders for the division lead. Fierce rivals, loads of history. Flyers and Rangers, the NHL on NBC from Philadelphia. But first, this from our studio.
Welcome to the Honda NBC Sports Desk.
Good evening, Liam McHugh alongside Mike Milbury and Jeremy Roenick. The regular season ends on April 11th, meaning teams have exactly 6 weeks to position themselves for the postseason. With that in mind, the Florida Panthers went out and acquired a man who once played for the Flyers and who still holds the Rangers' single-season record for goals at 54. On Thursday, future Hall of Famer Jaromir Jagr was dealt from the Devils to the Panthers. He made his debut this afternoon. Jagr's 43 years old. His line mates, Jonathan Huberdeau and Alex Barkov, had been on this earth for a combined 40 years. Jagr, 202 career playoff games. The Panthers as a franchise have just 38. Brandon Peary back after missing 9 games with a shoulder injury into the back of the net. His 10th of the season. He's pumping the fist. But Buffalo would respond, Mike.
Yeah, it'll be Torrey Mitchell who seems to be catching fire here. Maybe a little too late. But still, Molson with the feed and Mitchell with a goal.
Then, JR, last word, Florida.
Yeah, Scotty Upshaw gets his 7th of the season, and it puts them up for good. And a big win for Florida, 5-3.
They snap that 4-game losing streak. They pick up 2 huge points. They put the pressure on the Boston Bruins, taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Tuukka in net, and early on the first period, his team gives him the lead. Mike Smith, a little lost behind the net, and Milan Lucic makes him pay.
Yeah, Pasternak with a dump that just bounces over the stick of the normally short-handed Mike Smith. Not a good day for Mike Smith. Pretty good one for Milan Lucic, who's the beneficiary.
Boston adding to that lead. It's Riley Smith setting up Brad Marchand.
It's a beautiful pass. It's an even better shot, cross ice, and he just labels it right under the bar past Mike Smith. That's a beauty, 2-0.
So for one Saturday at least, things going right for Boston. 4-1 in the third period. The Coyotes, however, 0-8 in their last 8 games. Red Wings taking on the top team in the NHL, the Nashville Predators. Nashville on the power play. Shea Weber, get out of the way. His 15th of the season. It's 3-2. Go to the third period. Alexei Marchenko, the 205th selection in the 2011 draft. It's his first career goal.
Yeah, and that is a nice shot by Marchenko. Right around the ear of Pecorine, who really gets twisted on that shot.
Guys with a little bit more experience. Pavel Datsyuk, Thomas Tatar working the 2-man game.
Yeah, Tatar's had a great season this year. Actually tries to get it back to Datsyuk, but it goes off a Yossi's stick and under Pekka's glove for a 4-3 lead.
Late in the third, Nashville on the power play looking to even things up. James Neal denied by Jonas Gustafsson. Excellent save in front, and then check out the relief afterwards from Gustafsson. Detroit goes on to win this one, the final 4-3. Pekka Rinne is now allowed 3 or more goals in back-to-back games for the first time this season. Toronto Maple Leafs, Montreal Canadiens, first period. Off the turnover, it's Montreal, and it's Dale Weiss, eyes on the back of his head to Manny Malhotra.
Yeah, terrific drop pass here, and Malhotra will beat Bernier with a great shot just to the right of the blocker.
Gets a hand slap from Price. Later, it's Plekanec, his 19th.
This is a pretty sweet shot. Look at the position right under the blocker, short side. Plekanec makes it 2-0.
So Montreal leads it 2-0 in the first period. The Maple Leafs' life on the road, not pleasant. 14 consecutive road losses for Toronto. Finally, the New York Islanders hosting the Carolina Hurricanes. New guy, that would be Jack Hillen. Getting dressed for Carolina. He came over from Washington. Hurricanes up 3-2. Make it 4-2. It's Brad Malone.
Well, that's the kind of goal you like to get. It's just not that tough to put it in when it's lying 2-3 inches in front of the goal line.
Late in the second period, it's not Michael Jordan. It's Mikhail Jordan.
Yeah, well, I would have a different pronunciation if my name was Michael Jordan, too, but that's a nice tic-tac-toe play in the power play, and Carolina stuns the Islanders.
Not pictured John Tavares' 30th goal and his NHL leading 65th point. The final, though, 5-3 for Carolina. So, in the Eastern Conference, everyone is chasing the Canadiens. The Islanders remain 2 points up on the Rangers in the Metro. The Rangers do have 4 games in hand. And Boston's lead over Florida in the wild card is still 4 points. As for the Flyers, they are 8 back with 20 to play. And tonight, they're taking on a team that has outscored them 10-2 this season. And they're taking on a goalie named Cam Talbot, who has shut them out twice. Henrik Lundqvist, he has been out since February 3rd with a sprained blood vessel in his throat. What have we learned about Talbot?
We've learned that he's as good as he needs to be to keep the Rangers afloat. I mean, actually his record last year was surprisingly better than this year so far because he's been real good. The save percentage isn't overwhelming, .905 recently, but the win record is great. He's got a win streak of 9 straight games. Only Mike Richter about 20 years ago has a longer one than that in recent memory. So Talbot's doing the job that was expected of him and gives a lot of leeway to Henrik Lundqvist to take his time and get back from that kind of scary injury.
Yeah, well, the Rangers are playing really good offense in front of him, too. So they just have that going for them. The other day against Phoenix, they were down 2 goals, 3-1. They came back and won. So big offense is good for New York, too.
As for Philadelphia, desperate times right now. If they are going to somehow turn this around and make a serious run at the playoffs, who definitely needs to elevate his play?
Sean Couturier. Without question, it has to be that guy that's going to add secondary scoring. He has high expectations from the Philadelphia Flyers, and he just hasn't been able to really bring it the way he is expected to. Only 12 goals this year. 13 was his career high, but still, he has to find ways of getting to the net and having some more offense because Philadelphia Flyers now 8 points behind with Boston winning today. I mean, last week they lost to Columbus, Carolina, and Toronto. All teams that are out of the playoffs. You can't lose those games if you're seriously trying to make a run for the playoffs.
And you wonder what message the trading of Kimmo Timonen sends to the club. Is that the sort of general manager saying we're kind of giving up on this one? It sort of looks that way.
Regardless, right now the pressure is on. We're closing in on puck drop from Philadelphia. Some excellent offense will be on display for the Rangers. Rick Nash owns the second most goals in the league. For the Flyers, Jake Voracek sits second in the NHL when it comes to points produced.
With the elections on fire, let the lights go out. The room lit up and we ran about. This is what I really call a party now. Packed up my house, we do the next round. With the elections on fire, let the lights go out. This is what I really call a party now. Well, damn messes really run around.
Claude Giroux, the captain of the Philadelphia Flyers, skilled and tenacious, trying to will his team into the playoffs. Down the hall, the Rangers' Marty St. Louis, inspiration of last year's playoff final run. His team is 3 for 3 against the Flyers this year, trying for a sweep.
They've beaten the Flyers 3 in a row this season.
The Flyers continue to look for answers here.
This season, New York has left Philadelphia feeling blue. A ripper by Boyle. Score! A save made by Talbot. But a team desperate for precious points. He marks Lozano. Score! Must find a way to slow down New York's number 61. Here's Nash. Walks in deep and scores! Tonight, the Rangers go for the season sweep on Broad Street. It's the NHL on NBC next. They score! Unbelievable save! Two hockey franchises meant for the bright lights of prime time, sharing the same division for 40 years. It's the NHL on NBC from Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia. The Rangers and the Flyers, and good evening, everyone, with Eddie Olczyk, Pierre Maguire in just a moment. I'm Mike Emmerich. The Rangers have been impressive. This is the 13th straight game. They will not have their ace goalie, Henrik Lundqvist, but they've won 8 of the last 9. What's up with these guys?
Well, great confidence, Doc, for the New York Rangers right now, going great guns, getting ready for a playoff push and possibly to win the division. And I think when you have confidence like that, doesn't matter who's in the lineup, who's in goal, who might be in and out up front. But to me, it really starts with the defensive end for the New York Rangers. I don't think the big three on the back end, Doc, get enough credit for what they do on a nightly basis. Ryan McDonagh, Dan Girardi, and Mark Stahl are the big three for Alain Vigneault and the New York Rangers. Not only can do it defensively, but also physically as well. They block shots extremely well. The matchups can vary on night to night, but when you have three guys that you know exactly what you're going to get from the back end each and every night, it makes life awfully easy. And yeah, they can bring the offense as well, as you see the goal from Ryan McDonagh. And an MVP candidate, Doc, Rick Nash, had a terrific season. 37 goals this season, second in the National Hockey League. Of those 37, 7 are game-winning goals. He scores the big goals.
Well, the Flyers have overcome an earlier bad spot, but they've got to start winning because there are only 6 weeks left in the season. They have to start winning, and they have to keep doing it. So who's their must guy in all of this?
Well, it's going to go through the offensive guy like Claude Giroux and Jake Voracek, Doc. Co-leader in points in the entire National Hockey League. He's second in assists. There's only one player that has more assists in the National Hockey League, and that's Nicholas Backstrom of the Washington Capitals. And when you think about Jake Voracek, he's become a two-way player, no doubt about it. He plays in a lot of different situations for Craig Berube, the head coach of the Flyers. He plays the point on the power play. A terrific playmaker, real fun to watch, and has really become a superstar in the National Hockey League.
Between these cities, a 2-hour drive. That's if you obey the speed laws, Eddie. But worlds apart as fans from both cities will yell at each other. Hottest Flyer of this stretch, Wayne Simmons. He's got 24 goals to lead the team, and he's got time to spend with Pierre Maguire in just a moment. On to center ice, Pierre Maguire with the Flyers, Wayne Simmons.
Thanks very much, Doc. Everybody around here's really nervous. You guys aren't. Why?
We have faith within our locker room. We've come from behind before, whether it be a game or a slow start in the season, and we think we can do this again.
Wayne, last year they knocked you out in Game 7 in New York. They want to ruin your playoff season this year. What's your plan for them?
We just got to bring a physical game, a strong physical game, and we can't turn any pucks over neutral zone. This team's high-flying offensive team. We got pucks deep and try to go punish their D.
Have a blast tonight, Wayne. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
Doc.
Wayne Simmons sounds ready. The hostile environment sounds like it's ready too.
He says, what do you think about the style of the Philadelphia Flyers? To me, they're setting hockey back.
You're talking about Broad Street goalies. Yeah, we were tough.
This is all-time Rangers Flyers here.
The NHL on NBC is brought to you by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway, skate hard, eat fresh. Time now for our Honda starting goalies. In an improbable season when mainstays have gotten hurt, the backup is now the man. Cam Talbot, 12-5-3, 4 shutouts this year, 2 of them against the Flyers. The first start since going down to injury 3 weeks ago for Steve Mason. He played half the game Thursday in Toronto. He is this team's hope for the playoffs. 39-year-old Marty St. Louis for the Rangers won a scoring title at 29 and another at age 38. One of the heroes of last spring. 38-year-old Mark Streit, a howitzer of a shot, got 10 of them on net, a career high in the Flyers' last game. Dan Girardi, Ryan McDonagh on defense for the Rangers, Chris Kreider, Derek Stepan, Marty St. Louis up front, Michael Raffl, Wayne Simmons, Claude Giroux up front for the Flyers, Mark Streit, and Nick Schultz on defense for Philadelphia.
And the delay is because Nick Schultz can't get his chin strap buckled up. So the linesman, Mark Schutrick, has come over to try to help him, along with the trainers.
Problem solved. Quick work by Derek Settlemeyer out of Coker College. The equipment guy got it straightened out so we can be underway here.
Like a little Gordie Howe tape on the chin strap there to keep it in place.
A must for the team in orange. A score from center ice! At 7 seconds, it is 1-0. Stepan from center.
This puck was dipping and diving and rolling all over the place. This puck got on Steve Mason really quick. Right off the opening faceoff. The Flyers have it. Streit turns it over. Stepan's there, and that puck skips and goes right past Steve Mason.
Well, you heard what Wayne Simmons said to me. We don't want to turn the puck over, and there's the puck bouncing, as Eddie talked about, the turnover. And now they're going to evaluate, was that offside, Eddie? Because that's one of the complaints from the Flyers bench. I think we need to look at that again.
The huddle up is taking place outside the restraining line, the alternate captain stand. And we will get an explanation.
Well, here's where Derek Stepan is. And
no goal on the play.
No goal.
And now,
Because there was a delayed offside on the play.
You
When
see
there's
why.
a delayed offside, there is no goal.
and the explanation from referee Paul Dvorsky, delayed offside.
Dvorsky just came over and said that was offside, and they made the right call.
The greatest cheer you have heard in Philadelphia for a linesman since Leon Stickle in '80. I guess that wasn't a cheer, was it? 7 seconds in, we had a score, and now we do not. We're back to 0-0. And a buzz just going through the crowd here. What a surprising start to this one, and now we resume. The ex-Ranger Del Zotto wiping out as Nash gets back to his feet, seems all right. Looked like it had just struck his stick, but anyway, Stahl tries to play it along. Mark Stahl in a tangle there to a side. Dan Boyle trying to work too, but it's Jake Voracek, and then it is twisted back up the half boards and given on back for a hurried shot by Del Zotto that was wide. Braden Coburn had that one pumped into him. It bounces on back. He kicks to control, but then it came on to Boyle. It is Zuccarello. And a strong wrist shot was answered by Mason. And a little sarcastic applause, perhaps as much from Ranger fans who are well decked out in blue here, contrasting a lot to the orange. So it is Kreider. Kreider shuffles it on across. It is not many teams that would claim a guy who has the lead in power play goals and penalty minutes as that one is swatted out of the air by Mason.
Philadelphia's having a tough time managing the puck, Eddie. There's another example of it. This should be an easy, clear situation for the Philadelphia Flyers. Mason goes back to play it, and there you see Coburn can't handle it, and then Mason's forced to make a save. And here's Michael Del Zotto, just a shift earlier, turns it over to Rick Nash. Nash blows a tire, but nonetheless, that's a turnover.
Smart play there by St. Louis, and you can practice all you want if you're Steve Mason. See all the shots you want in practice and the video, but got to get in and get some work, and that includes not only seeing pucks in game action, but also handling the puck there, and you see that giveaway that Pierre was talking about to Braden Coburn.
Mark Streit goes back for this, pursued by Hagelin, just spins away and then rifles it back down the ice. Wide of the cage, and there'll be an icing here.
Well, the speed factor of the Rangers is certainly where they have the edge on the Flyers, especially on the back end, so they would probably want to continue to pressure, forecheck. Mason likes to handle the puck, so try to take away his options and create and generate off of the speed on the offensive side.
Jammed on a cross, and it is read by Dan Boyle, given on a cross for St. Louis, who popped one that ricocheted off Schultz, sent back to Boyle, shooting one, and that one blocked away as Wayne Simmons is able to stand in that one. Rolled along now for the turn by Kreider across to Stepan, rattled it on around, and right across it comes for St. Louis, but by him, though held by Stahl. Blocked back down again by Luke Schenn. Meanwhile, the battle on, and it's squirted on to Schultz. Ricocheted across now, and St. Louis drops it back in. Going to get it is Mark Streit. Shift change for the Flyers, shift change for the Rangers. 2:10 gone first period. So glad you've joined us tonight. An unusual start, a goal from center ice that's wiped out on an offside at the 7-second mark. 2 shots in the game, both by the Rangers. Swung back in by Ryan White, chased down by Girardi. Umberger on him. They canceled, and Umberger recoiled and threw one in front that can be played by Dominic Moore. Pressed by Umberger, it's sent back up the boards and can be taken along by Tanner Glass. Run into by Braden Schenn, gliding along is Moore, and a shot is pad stopped by Mason, and it's called back because of an offside, and the Flyers want to take somebody to task for that.
They weren't happy with Moore shooting the puck after the whistle. noise won't lie. Listen. Far after the whistle.
Yeah, that one little stick handle by Dominic Moore. Forced Lee Stempniak to be offside on those right wing boards.
Back to center we come. Couturier to draw with Brassard. And Couturier, born in Arizona, wins this back for Delzato to hand on across. Braden Coburn laid it back to him. Delzato takes a look ahead. Fired one that was off Matt Reed's stick and back down. Stahl pivots with this one. Couturier ran into him after he dropped it off to Boyle. It's foisted back out, chased down, but protected pretty well by Coburn. Around behind, he left it though. Brassard tries to get to the front and shot one that's blocked away by Mason. Played on by Boyle, ricocheted off Nash, forced around behind, and Coburn quickly flexed it back ahead. Jake Voracek brings it ahead. Co-scoring leader in the NHL until the Islander game was played. John Tavares pulled past him. Along with this, now it's Voracek again. Voracek fed one, Streit with it, hurried a shot that went wide. Strides right back after it again though. Streit turning, trying to shake Boyle. Threw one in front, and that one blocked aside. Oh, and fending on the rebound, Couturier. Loose puck, back to Schultz. Hit the outside of the net with the shot. Lifted on back and settled down for Schultz again. Nick Schultz across in a drive by Streit is blocked away by Zuccarello and taken on by Couturier. Checked there by Nash. Couturier pulls away, drops one back along. Voracek trying to get there, shouldered by John Moore. Voracek turning, rushed off by Brassard. 2 Rangers, 1 Flyer, and then more gathered. And it's pulled away by Brassard. A long shift for everybody out there right now, and that's why the toss back in. And the change in lines. 4 1/4 minutes to play, first period. Or gone rather, first period. Rangers have taken 3 shots, the Flyers have 1. And this one is forced back in by Luke Schenn and rattled on around. Klein played it further, JT Miller up with it there. Flyers very aggressive in following through on their hits. Klein gave it right back across again, hurried back out by Stahl. Off it came from Hayes, played back along by Belmar, gathered in by Van de Velde, but handed over for Stahl to go circle to Klein. How is it down there, Pierre?
A little rambunctious.
Hoisted to the corner, and along to get this is Grossman. Nothing in the rule book about that. Brought right back ahead, and it's LeCavalier trying to get it back in and places it deep, but it's Girardi to spin it back the other way, and moving back ahead, Stepan dropped it back off for McDonough, then back over to San Luis with Stepan breaking, got it back for a shot, and that blocked aside by Delzato. Meanwhile, jammed back McDonough's shot, waffle boarded back out again by Mason. On come the Flyers. Raffle moving in as this is pitched back in by Simmons, goes foisting it after it. Raffle tries to get there, still in the duel on the boards, and then it's freight trained by Girardi. Jammed on free, but fed to the point. Delzato there, hurries one, and it went off a stick wide. Kreider tries to chop further. Taken over by the Flyers. Giroux, a shot blocked by Girardi. And pitchfork back out again by San Luis. The defense can change. At least McDonough can. Girardi cannot. This one hops to his corner, and he's back to play. Long toss ahead to Tanner Glass. Rugged guy out of Dartmouth. Held up at the boards, and the rush stymied at that point. Giroux working in, but Glass got it over to Moore, then back across for the trigger pull in by Lee Stempniak.
It's the all-Ivy line, Harvard and 2 Dartmouths. Glass and Stempniak, Dartmouth, and Moore, Harvard.
Ivy lead is now belonging to Dartmouth, so I'm sure there's a lot said about that. Angled wide, and Talbot is out to get it. Fired back along again, and this one hurried, but blocked off by the defender in front. That was Boyle. Meanwhile, this is Grossman. 6.5 played here in the first period. A lot of finesse moves there on the part of Luke Schenn. Rattled on around, and that one planed away by Talbot. Went past Brayden Schenn, Luke's brother, and can be played back ahead now. And Boyle tapped to center. Lee Stempniak went for that one, taken by Brayden Schenn, then Streit, then Schultz. And then back along, Schultz hoping to take his own pass, cannot get there. And it's thrown across by Nash. John Moore run into by Voracek as this is pushed back to Streit. And then Schultz. Voracek laid it on. Streit tossed it further. Slammed right back in again, and Klein will go to get it. Back up the boards, Voracek got in the way. Voracek fed one, ricocheted off the stick of Zuccarello. Tapped on, and then it'll have to be chased down as a misread in signals from Matt Reed and Coburn. Del Zotto flings it right back off that glass, and it cracks there near where Reed can get there first, though he is chased off by Boyle and nudged back on for the carry and the hoist back out again by Zuccarello. Hustling back is Del Zotto. There's no icing here. Chased off and worked on pretty well there by Hayes. Meanwhile, it is poked along by Del Zotto, though kept by Miller. J.T. Miller slamming on the brakes and turning now. Miller tucked it back in. Coburn went to get it. Some time and space to work with here. 12:10 to go first period. Virtually non-stop action as that one is into the catching glove of Talbot. 12:07 to go first period. 4 shots on goal by the Rangers, 1 by the Flyers, and it's 0-0.
Well, after a slow start by the Flyers, they've really found their skating game. A couple of real good chances. Sean Couturier just waiting for that puck to get to the ice so he can create a scoring chance. Look at this puck. He's waiting. And by that time he gets it, he just misses it with the battle level from Cam Talbot. And then Rick Nash was around Talbot as well when the quality chance came right after that. A good shift there for the Reed, Couturier, and Voracek line.
Giroux with a word with Schultz, and now on the draw ties up with Stepan, and it's one on back. Stride able to pitch it in deep, and there is McDonough. Filtered on to San Luis, drops back and lifts one that is kept alive momentarily, and then jostling there were Simmons as well as San Luis. Long toss ahead, they hope for San Luis, and they got what they wanted. It's pushed off of Schultz and then can be corralled by Stepan. Led to the back, McDonough shot, and a hard one that went wide of Mason in the cage. Girardi got it behind. Schultz took over there. A long force strike. Trouble though. A couple of Rangers on him in San Luis and Stepan. Help came from Giroux. It's fed on to Schultz. Headmans it to Ruppel. Given across to Giroux. And Giroux is able to fly one back to the corner.
Nice play by Stride out of the corner to get that exit. Got it to his partner Schultz.
Thrown across by Belmar. Carried right back in. And a big drive by LeCavalier. And that has injured Girardi. Gets to his feet, limps to the bench. Stepniak brought it in, and offside is called. Get the only hockey app with free game highlights and audio, plus live out-of-market games. Download the official app of the NHL.
Well, you mentioned that shot block by Dan Girardi off the shot from Vinny LeCavalier, and that's the 4th shot block of this period for the Rangers. LeCavalier coming right through the middle of the ice. Not a great gap given up there by the Rangers. Just a lot of room for LeCavalier to walk right in there, but Girardi selling out and keeping that puck from going towards the goaltender.
You say that a lot about Danny, don't you, Eddie?
He's very, very underrated. Pays the price night in, night out.
Couturier tried to feed further, cut off by John Moore and played out to center. The ex-Columbus Blue Jacket sees it thrown past him by Reed, but not past Talbot, who stopped. Gave it on to Klein, then back over to Moore. Moore's pass went off the stick of Zuccarello back down. After it, Del Zotto poked along for Zuccarello's soccer move to get it back further now to Derek Brassard. Hustled it behind. First one in was Carl Hagelin. Back to Brassard. Back to Boyle. Fakes the drive. Threw one into Matt Reed, who was kneeling at first for the block and now carries ahead. Stickless is Boyle. Led to that side. Couturier. And a save made by Talbot. A jam play. And they score! Matt Reed has made it 1-0. And this one counts.
Well, Matt Reed's the guy that blocks the shot off of Dan Boyle. He does a wonderful job there of getting in the shooting lane. Could have been a penalty there on Boyle. There was not. Reed to Voracek to Couturier. Reed goes to the front, stops in front, and I believe he gets a piece of it and beats Cam Talbot.
And that's the teaching point. He stops below or above the icing line so that he can get to that rebound and stick it on the short side past Cam Talbot.
And so the Flyers strike first. Talbot scoops it along for Klein. Couturier and Voracek get the assist on the goal by the young man out of Bemidji State, Matt Reed. I bet it's cold there tonight. It is cold in Philadelphia. Luke Schenn saw that one intercepted and a shot on, save, rebound, score! The Rangers have tied it on a goal by J.T. Miller.
Shoot in, retrieval, aggressive forecheck. Eddie was talking about the speed of the New York Rangers. Here's an example, closing speed. Kevin Hayes on it, Carl Hagelin hearted the closing speed. Don't quit on the puck. JT Miller scores, and he says, you can get this monkey right off my back after he celebrates the goal.
Boy, beautiful patience there for Miller. He gets it. He goes from his forehand to his backhand, post and in. Just patience with the puck. They have a lot more time in front of the net than you realize. And Miller's able to follow up. A-plus chance. Mason with a terrific stop comes right back to him and puts it into the net.
Reed's 6th of the year, 24 seconds later. Miller's 6th of the year, even at 1. Carl Hagelin gets the lone assist. So it is Schultz. For Raffle. Schultz. And then pitched along by Giroux, but flagged and thrown back in by Kreider. Goes right after it, but Giroux is there to chop it on, and it's hoisted across from strike.
Dangerous.
Just a little. Raffle tried to play further, no luck, and McDonough guides it back.
Too many men. They got away with one there, I think, Eddie. Rangers bench very unhappy with that.
Yeah, Wayne Vigneault had his arm up there, trying to entice the official to do the same.
Directed out of play. For that reason, play is stopped. 8:55 to go, first period. Yes, that monkey off the back has tied the game at 1.
Good start to this game. How do you take the Rangers' speed out of the game?
Well, tight checking for sure, but don't turn pucks over and get on them. You know, you got to have 5-man gaps all over the ice to take away their speed.
Coach, everybody around Philadelphia is panicking about this group. Your group's not. What's been your message to the players?
Stay with it. One game at a time. We got to win the game today.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Greg Berube's 18th year with the team. Was starting his 7th year as an assistant when he was named head coach. And this is his 2nd year and first full one. It was almost a full one last year. That's put into the glove of Mason, who decides he'll wait.
I'm going to go back to the goal by Matt Reed. You talk about great hand-eye coordination. Here's that play developing from the other side of the ice. Voracek to Couturier, the shot. But watch the play by Matt Reed. Stop it right here. Look at this, puck's up in the air, right? Look where Matt Reed is. I mean, Matt Reed's right there. Watch what he does. Knocks it on the backhand, brings it back, forehand shovel, and the puck gets to the back of the net. I mean, that's an incredible play in a matter of a split second by Matt Reed.
Forced to the point, McDonough shot, and it skittered right into Mason, who decided I better hold on right here. A little bit of extra after the whistle.
Colburn and Zuccarello, that's the long and the short of it. Reminds me of when Brian Giunta was in Montreal and Zdeno Chara was in Boston. One behemoth and one guy that's got the heart of a behemoth.
Peace restored for our time, and out of this, an offensive zone face-off for the Rangers.
Big contract discussions with Matt Zuccarello's agents at Newport Sports and the New York Rangers. I wonder how it's going to end up, Eddie and Doc.
Think we'll know something in the next 48 hours?
I would imagine.
Trade deadline Monday night. And along this comes now to Boyle. Threw one in front that was spiked wide. Dug out by Brassard. Nice pass. Oh, and Nash put one off the tip of the glove of Mason.
A couple of former Blue Jackets all involved on that last play there. Brassard to Nash trying to beat Steve Mason. But the speed factor of the New York Rangers below the goal line. Brassard's able to get to this puck while he's falling down, gets it to Nash. Great reception there, backhand, forehand, and goes short side on Steve Mason. He's not able to shoot it that way because Del Zotto took away that far part of the net. Good play there by Del Zotto to take away the options of Rick Nash.
Voracek locked up there by Stahl. Guided it along anyway, and then it was poked to Couturier. Yanked it along to Voracek. Little sweep by Stahl there. Fed across, and it's collared by Schultz. Schultz fed one across, and that one yanked away and then played further by Stahl on up to Kreider. And dealt back to Stahl. 7 3/4 minutes to go, first period of play. Shots are 7-4, and the goals, Reed from Couturier and Voracek, Miller from Hagelin. 1-1. The Rangers with the win can be tied with the Islanders for the division lead. And even after this game tonight, they will still have 3 more games to play in the season than the Islanders do. For the Flyers, it got stickier because Boston won today. 71 points for that wild card, and the Flyers are 8 back.
And how about the Florida Panthers winning today? Jaromir Jagr steering that power play. Brandon Theory, 2 rippers on the power play with a little subtle coaching from Jaromir Jagr.
His first game back period in 9 or 10 games.
Really talented guy. Wasn't he the American League scoring champion?
He was. Good player at RPI. So the Chicago Blackhawks drafted him.
Simmons had that one stifled down. It can be played along to the outside by Miller. Backhander skittered into Mason, and he just decides to cover with 7:09 to go in the first. Look at the standings again. The top 3 in each division are guaranteed a playoff spot. Then it's up for grabs on the wild card. Washington has the wild card in the Metropolitan at 76 points, Boston the other one at 71, so it is the Bruins who are vulnerable, but it is also the Bruins who have won 2 games in 24 hours.
Philadelphia and Boston next Saturday in Boston. A lot of Flyer players talking about that.
Girardi gave it across, McDonough with it there, wristed one that's deflected wide, and came back along for the giveaway off of Braden Shen to Miller across, and that did not pan out for Hayes. And then it is slugged back along by McDonough on a delayed offside that is now whistled down.
Boy, 2 close calls for big Kevin Hayes. One was the redirect, and then the second one he was going to the far side, and JT Miller trying to find Kevin Hayes, and a nice play there from Ryan White, defensively coming all the way back.
Montreal Canadiens draft pick Ryan White played 4 years with the Calgary Hitmen in the Western Hockey League. He knows how to play defense.
The Cavalier gave it along and then punched it on further, but getting in his way was John Moore. Pretty good hit there by Van de Velde. Meanwhile, it can be dragged on and pushed back into him. He has Belmar in a shooting position. Now he'll stride after this. Belmar nicely able to sidestep one and fed one that went through the legs of Klein onto the back and played back in by Grossman. Escapes near Tanner Glass. Kicked it on back, but Belmar played once again. LeCavalier to the front, tried to get a shot away, but Klein got his stick in the way of that. Squibbed on free and can be settled down and then advanced by Moore. Klein a part of this rush. Stempniak tried to get further. Popped on back and dealt on further by Glass.
Nice defensive play there by Grossman. Good stick there to turn the puck over.
Moore directed that one in, and so it is started back by Delzato. Connects to Couturier. Blocked off, though, by Zuccarello. And then Boyle off Nash. 5:50 to go. Chasing this down is Matt Reed. Then Delzato. Carefully played positionally by these two teams. Icing is waved off. Stahl can play further and stash it around, and hustling to that is Simmons. Closed off Nash, but Nash prevailed to lift it along. Glove back down and played by Coburn off a glass support. It careens over near Simmons. Simmons angles back. Delzato plays it there. Simmons ladled it behind. Raffo goes charging in after the loose one that hopped on to be cleared back down. Delzato in a race with Zuccarello. Shakes him, but also wiped out himself. More changes in lines here. Delzato fed one on that's kicked back in by Simmons. Onside play, and it is dealt back along by Girardi, and then Simmons twisted it on the backhand behind. Raffl stepped into there by Girardi. It is Giroux, and then Raffl, and then it's stopped and held by Talbot. Pretty good work in deep by the Flyers there. Does not result in a goal. We are still locked up here in the first at 1. Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Eddie's been talking about the closing speed of the New York Rangers on the forecheck. Here's some graphic examples of it. Get the puck in deep and force the Philadelphia Flyers to turn the puck over. Alongside around the boards, you can pitch your defenseman down. You can create so many chances with that closing speed and aggression. Great play by Hagelin. Puts it out front. One chance, second chance for JT Miller. And the Rangers' closing speed on the forecheck has caused some problems for the Flyers.
McDonough, but strike. And then Talbot. Hoisted along, and it bounced to JT Miller. Yanked it back in. But again, we get a halt to play. A cross check is signaled.
They go back to a face-off play here, Doc, by the Rangers. Watch these two players here. It's McDonough and Hagelin. The face-off's going to come here, and watch Hagelin take off here. This is a set play. Hagelin just leaving the zone, hoping for a bounce over a stick, maybe create a breakaway or a 2-on-1. Good defensive play there from Streit.
McDonough sits, the second best power play in the league, the second best power play at home, about to go to work. Brought to you by Lincoln Motor Company. 5 for their last 20. The Rangers have killed off 19 of 22. Certainly not bad. They are in the top 5 in offense and defense, this Rangers team, but the Flyers have been special on the power play. And this is handed off now to Streit and then given on for the playback by Brayden Schenn. Only Detroit is better on the power play than Philadelphia. Controlled on and thrown by Brayden Schenn off the tip of the stick of Talbot. Rifled on around, and they'll have to chase. Claude Giroux and Streit and Brayden Schenn and Voracek and Simmons. Those are the 5 on the power play. Hagelin and Dominic Moore among the defenders. A strike shot was off the post from Voracek. And it is hoisted all the way back. He got to a great shooting area to let that one go, and it clanged off. So they start yet again. More deliberate than they want to.
The Rangers are doing what the Montreal Canadiens did a couple weeks ago in Detroit, taking away the deep guy, forcing Philadelphia to try to keep the puck in like that. They're stacking the zone and they're taking away the drop pass. Montreal did it, and a lot of teams in the league are now copying that. And this is what we're talking about. Watch Derek Stepan right here. Look where he is. They're trying to take away that drop pass, and the Rangers are playing exactly what Montreal did in Detroit. They were 0 for 2, Detroit was, on the power play that night. Montreal won in Detroit, and a lot of teams in the league are following.
Well, if the drop pass works, it gives you speed coming in from the guy that accelerates as he takes it. But here's a two-a-side battle in the last 3 1/4 of this first period. Sent back along now for Carl Hagelin, and Hagelin in no particular hurry blasts 1/2 of the rink, and it's blocked off by Mason. So to the last 25 of the power play. Uneventful so far, except for the post. Given up to Hayes. Outdueled though by Del Zotto and handed on back. Reed gave it on over. Couturier with it there. Couturier drifting, angled it on around. LeCavalier steps to that one. LeCavalier swaggers and hands back. Del Zotto gave it across. Couturier drive, shrugged away by Talbot. Penalty time is up. Out of the box, McDonough. And it's brought back ahead. They might get a 2-on-1 out of this. Walk back in by Hayes. Hayes dodges and then couldn't get much going. And a backhand right in front is corralled with the help of his defense of LeCavalier by Mason.
Kevin Hayes never looked over his left shoulder. It was a 2-on-1 that turned into a 3-on-2 because of the great hustle by Mark Stahl. Watch to the right part of the ice. Here comes Mark Stahl, the trailer. That's a 3-on-2. I'm not sure if Stahl is even yelling for that puck there, but Kevin Hayes tried to go forehand, backhand, try to move it to McDonough, who'd coming out of the penalty box there, but a missed opportunity.
He may not have been yelling for the puck, but I can tell you the Ranger bench was yelling 3-3-3 the entire time.
Zuccarello with this, rattles it on around, and waiting for it is Klein, punched it right back. Pulling his way around, trying to come up with it was Nash, no luck. And it's rolled right back in again on the bounce by White. Zuccarello able to finesse that on through. Vandervelde tried to get to that one. It is Klein nudging on, and Brassard can come up with it. He's got Nash breaking. Brassard drifts, drops it back off. Zuccarello with it there. To the back, Klein a shot. That blocked off by Belmar, and it can be cleared back out.
He's got some bees in his boot, trying to shake it off right now. What a shot block by Belmar.
Angled back in and on goal by White. 9 shots to 6 Rangers. From a period of early fluster, it seems like, oh, what a steal there. Giroux, a shot and a save by Talbot. And that is normally the sure-handed Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, trying to force something that is absolutely not there. Real good stick there by Claude Giroux, getting in that passing lane, and Ryan McDonough just better off to go ahead and put that puck around the boards. A good recovery, and that's what the goaltender's for there, to bail out a mistake.
Good point. You also tell your young players all the time on the forecheck, keep your stick on the ice. Giroux Giroux, great fundamentals.
Grossman handed it on back. Rifled back ahead. Ruppel turns it back to the corner. Turned around behind now by McDonough. Lost, though, to Ruppel and back up the boards to Kreider. Nudged it on back. Girardi floated sort of a haphazard pass, but he gets it back again. No harm there. Played back up to St. Louis. Nudges on now for the carry back in by McDonough. McDonough's shot blocked away by Strike. And around behind, they try to feather it in front. It bounces loose, but can be covered by Mason. Live from New York, it's Saturday night with host Dakota Johnson and musical guest Alabama Shakes. All new Saturday Night Live later tonight on NBC.
Both these teams have done a really good job of getting in some shooting lanes there. That last chance for McDonough. Good shot block by Mark Streit. Retreating. Nice play by St. Louis to get McDonough involved on the offensive rush.
Hagelin stood up by Coburn there. This one twisted across, and it's bunted back out again by Reed. Stahl won that race, tipped back up by Hayes. Hagelin sees this come across and then played it on for the throw back in by Miller. Now Voracek. Delays, and then hopped one that went off a Ranger out of play, and we have no penalty coming as a result.
And we saw Claude Giroux with a stick on the ice at one end of the ice for Philadelphia. Here's Carl Hagelin's opportunity. Stick on the ice all the time on a forecheck. Boom, puck out of play. Eddie, how many times have you told young players, keep your stick on the ice and take away lanes, and for whatever reason, they choose not to?
Yeah, it's happened. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, the teaching point is that if your stick's up in the air, regardless of the situation, you have no chance of getting the puck when it's down on the ice. So why not just get in the habit, whether it's in on a forecheck like Giroux or standing in front of the net as a defenseman. Hopefully everybody's okay in the stands there when that last puck went into the crowd.
Well, someone's cut because a towel came from the linesman up to the crowd.
Voracek fed that one ahead, and here's Couturier going by Moore around in front. No, it would not go. He made every move possible in the book, and it would not go through.
What a burst of speed here by Sean Couturier out to the outside. Goes around Johnny Moore, cuts right in, tries to cut right back, and Cam Talbot just keeps his bucket, slides it right across the goal line. And it ends up under his right pad.
Eddie, it's the ultimate mystery with Sean Couturier. Last 2 years of junior, 96 points in each year. He was a great offensive force. For whatever reason, it hasn't translated to the National Hockey League yet.
Blasted along, it ricocheted back. The Rangers get it as far as center. Trying to dig it loose was Glass. It is rushed back on by Moore, and his shot over the catching glove against the glass. And nice move by Simmons to corral it as the horn sounds to end the first. 9 shots apiece in that period, 1 goal apiece. Stay tuned for the Lexus intermission. Liam, Mike, JR. The Ranger Flyers defense lapses. Yager debuts for the Panthers. Reed from Couturier and Voracek. Miller from Hagelin. Those are the scoring plays in the first period. And then there was one from center ice they'll show you again. Didn't count. A fan favorite from Staten Island, Nick Fotiu, played for both teams. 1,362 penalty minutes, and he tossed more than that many pucks to the stands. The Big E, Eric Lindros, played for both teams. 14 years, 1,398 penalty minutes, 865 points. The Big E. Flyers Hall of Fame took in he and John LeClair, line mates on that famous Legion of Doom line. Michael Renberg was the third party and was here for the ceremony.
How about the Crazy Eights lines with Brett Frederick and Mark Recchi and Lindros?
Well, we could talk about Leach, Clark, and Barber too.
That was a good line.
Vic Hadfield, Rod Gilbert, Jean Rattel.
The gag line.
All fun. Couturier threw that one wide. He had 3 chances in that first period and 3 shots on goal to lead his team, and nearly a goal. Eddie was saying this could be 3-2 one way or the other, but it is just 1-1. Played on now, and Nash sent one wide. Delzato chopped it on, bounced to center for Reed, nudges it on, hoping that Couturier can get there, bodied out of the way by Brassard. To a side move in. And a little feed around in front. Oh, and a save made by Talbot on Raffle. Chopped around behind, and it's Voracek turning with it there. Wants to feed it out for a shot by Giroux. Battled for, but Talbot has got it. His goal stick is behind, and play is stopped.
Boy, back-to-back outstanding chances for the Philadelphia Flyers. The first chance, Michael Raffle has to wait for that puck, pulls it to his backhand, and good stop from Cam Talbot, and Claude Giroux comes off the bench and creates a second chance.
And Jake Voracek putting it right into the wheelhouse for Claude Giroux. That's a chance Eddie's talking about. Good job by Talbot staying with it.
Girardi sent it on. Dumped back by Kreider, and then Kreider fished it back even further. McDonough smoked out by good work from Giroux. McDonough able to pull free, but a penalty coming up to Giroux. On the delayed call, charging to the bench, Talbot, a little feed through, Stepan fed one across that's touched by Simmons, and now the penalty call. Paul Chmielewski, the rookie NHL referee, makes the call. Working with the veteran Paul Dvorsky tonight. You get to see this once again.
Yeah, the stick up under the left shoulder, left arm, excuse me, of Ryan McDonough. And then Simmons, as you mentioned, Doc, did a really good job on that back check there. The Rangers looking to score off the rush with the delayed call.
2 for the last 18 on their power play, but 2 for the last 3 against Arizona in their most recent game. Flyers have killed 15 of 18. It is Boyle. Away from Belmar. Belmar harassing him more, and the pass escapes loose and can be jammed on further, and the Rangers must settle things down. So Brassard. Then Stepan. They curl back, and Stepan's pass was blocked, but it kicked across to Boyle, who could not control, and so it's Delzato. Wheeling and throwing. And all the way down. Polite applause from the Flyers onlookers. Penalty kill for them is 28th in the league, and the Rangers' power play is at 10th out of the league of 30. And cleared back down again.
Sloppy entries, Eddie and Doc. Not good enough from the New York Rangers, and a nice job by the Flyers taking away options.
Brassard with this one. Halfway through the power play. Uneventful so far, but now Kreider will try to change that. Canceled out a bit by Luke Schenn, but he keeps gliding on and now circles and looks. Got it onto the back to McDonough. McDonough hands it across Brassard there. Boy, he wanted the shot, but it was denied. Luke Schenn was not going to give him a thing. To the back it comes now to McDonough. Lots of head fakes. Gained some space and shot one that was blocked away by Belmar. Turned along again by Hayes. Kevin Hayes shoots. Oh, and that one was turned aside by Mason. Back to his feet again as this is cleared back down. 20 seconds to go on the power play. 3 minutes gone, second period of play. Kreider able to ladle that one back in, but going to get it is Brayden Schenn. Reversed it on now. Coburn couldn't clear. McDonough holds. Drops it on back. Zuccarello with it there. Shot one. Was hoping for the deflection of Hayes. Didn't work out. Girardi threw one, and that one ricocheted loose off Brayden Schenn. Then Hayes. Then Zuccarello. Penalty time up. Moving into this is Claude Giroux. Shifts from defense to offense and lugs it on back. Giroux dropped it back. Brayden Schenn with a shot. It's deflected up into the mesh. Watch the NHL on NBC Live on your laptop, tablet, or smartphone with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app or go to NBCSports.com/Live Extra and watch the biggest events anywhere, anytime. So Ryan White will move in for this face-off test with Dominic Moore. Moore at 55% in efficiency, best of the Rangers. That one came onto the back and is played along as they try to reach one for Umberger, but it goes along for the clear back up the boards. Brayden Schenn got to that one, skipped one around behind, forced right back yet again by JT Miller. Turned along, and the Flyers can bring it back further before Umberger is slammed out of the play by Klein. Loose puck grabbed again by the Flyers and sent further by Ryan White. Then it's Klein, rushed there, nudged the pass to Stahl, guided it onto Hagelin, sent out to Miller. Moving back up with Moore. Then across to Moore. Moore a shot, save made by Mason, rebound Moore! Oh, and another one would not go! Taken along to the outside, Rangers warming to the task here. It's Miller, pivoting, gave it back, Moore another shot, and that one humbled White. He's shaking up a little bit, and looks like he's going to stay out for this. Not to the bench yet. Along it can be played and drubbed right back in by J.T. Miller.
Heck of a shift by Ryan White. He wins that first faceoff, has a big hit with Stahl, and then he gets it in that shooting lane.
Puck came back overskated by Shen and can be played back to Brassard. Led one on across, and it's Nash with a shot, and that one blocked. Already down was Coburn, and he's shaken up.
I think he got this one in the face.
Oh, I beg your pardon, it's Grossman.
Jim McCross and the trainers out there, both benches were saying stop the play. Rick Nash is going to get this relay from Derek Brassard and launch it on goal, and it gets him up high, actually.
It looks like it actually hit him in the name tag there. Yeah, right in the center of the back there.
Down here, Eddie, I can tell you, both benches were yelling, stop the play, stop the play. They were worried about Grossman.
Yeah, that first look was actually the best one to see exactly where it hit him. There you see Grossman going down. The shot by Rick Nash, and it just goes right across the nameplate. Now, did he, as he was falling down at any time, did he make any contact with the helmet or the head onto the ice?
Good question. It might have been, because otherwise it's a little mysterious as to what happened. Let's see this once again.
Tough to tell if it caught the back of the helmet as well, but hopefully he's going to be okay. Because he looked like he was having a tough time getting to the bench.
This one's away from Voracek and back down. Voracek canceled out by John Moore, so it's Zuccarello. Well, we'll await word. We do have people that can gather word for us from the Flyers when there is something. This bet on a cross now to Boyle. Couldn't hurry up, try in front. It was a slow one that could be grabbed off, though it can't be cleared out yet. Delzato effectively gets it on for Voracek, but then Zuccarello fiddled it right back. So it is Coburn. Angled on through Couturier and on goal, so no icing there. Talbot threw one all the way to center, a kneeling block by Coburn. Delayed offside here, wiped as the Rangers bring it back out. And it's Boyle. Saw that one poked across. Van de Velde looking there, but it is gotten first by Stepniak and rolled around. Taken back ahead and a roll block there. And it can be brought back and handed on to LeCavalier. LeCavalier to the slot, trying to fiddle his way to the front. Backhanded one that went lamely in on goal and play is stopped. Let's take a look at Pierre Maguire. He is down inside the glass, Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. One of the guys that can make a difference for the Philadelphia Flyers, Jake Voracek. Eddie's been talking about him all night long. He's a gifted playmaker, an elite scorer. He wants a puck on a stick. He's also not afraid to be physical. You can ask John more of that. Slicing and dicing the New York Ranger defense off the post. Jake Voracek's had a tremendous season, and one of the guys that's really helped him, his countryman and city man, Jaromir Jagr's helped them so much over the course of his career. Both come from Kladno in the Czech Republic.
Rolled around behind now for the Rangers to control. A good rush there by Nick Schultz causes them to play it behind. Girardi will try the other side. The Flyers love to establish the forecheck. They said that was their one hope in beating the Rangers tonight, was to get that established. Rolled onto the back, and Girardi will keep it and hammer it back in. Poked along by Schultz, but into Stepan. Streit run into there by Kreider. Gets it back from San Luis, and then his pass failed, so along came Girardi. Through one that's off Streit. Poked onto the back, and it had to be slowed, but played at center by Kreider. Punched right back along, and carrying it in and forcing it along further was Raffl. Meanwhile, it's pitched back out. Some pretty solid defense from the circles on out by both of these teams. Chances are down a little bit now from what they were earlier, and it is 1-1, middle stages, second period. Right in on goal from the whole length. And Talbot is able to force it off, and he gave it up. Stepped on, and a shot by Bellemare is shrugged away by Talbot, taken by Hayes, set ahead, and Hagelin speeds on. University of Michigan product sailed it wide, and along it comes to J.T. Miller. Miller fed one, but Moore had to play at center ice, and it's dropped back in. 14 shots Flyers, a dozen shots Rangers. Both teams have connected once. Mason left it behind. Jammed right on through the legs. Nice, neat little pass. LeCavalier sent on across by Bellemare for Vandevelde, a bit too far for him. Shuffled right back along by Hagelin and forced back in again by Del Zotto. Banged right back to center, and it's crunched down by Reed. Could not sidestep John Moore. Miller brings it on back for the Rangers and fires, and it's aimed. And a rebound carried around, but is gathered in by Coburn.
Hayes was looking for Nash on that rebound chance.
The puck's coming to Kevin Hayes off it.
Sent to the front, and Talbot blocked that one, and then it's sent back down the ice where it will go for an icing. No, they waved it off, and then it is trapped by Mason, wisely, given the circumstances. Due to that, we can leave you, but not for long, in a 1-1 tie. Genial and legendary Willie O'Ree, first black player in the NHL. Here in Philadelphia today, over 80 of the nation's most advanced inner-city youth hockey players were here for Willie O'Ree Skills Weekend from Friday, and it continues on through Sunday. And the kids were here from Columbus, and the Sabres fans, and Devils, and Wild, and Rangers, and Flyers. They were wearing toques from about every team. They came from across the country. The Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation, a model for NHL's hockey is for everyone, served as the host. Here is McDonough, and a save made by Mason, and he covers.
Eddie, what a set face-off play by the Rangers there. Wow, that's a thing of beauty to watch. Clean face-off win. Rick Nash is going to rotate from the inside part of the ice towards the boards. There's Ryan McDonough. He knows this is a set play. Win the draw. And watch where Nash goes. Little crust, gets it, and then McDonough goes, see you later. And what a save by Mason. That's spectacular hockey by the Rangers.
Boy, if McDonough might have looked really quick, he might have got that puck to Brassard. He might have had a wide open net because Steve Mason looked like he overcommitted. You're right, Pierre. I mean, just a heck of a design, and I mean, perfectly executed except for one thing. The puck ended up in the back of the net, but that was a well-designed play, and you got to win the draw in order to execute that.
Del Zotto played it on back, and it's sent back on for Voracek to drive ahead. Jake Voracek brought it on in. Sent to the corner by Brassard, but then it is Reed around behind. Couturier slowed it down, and moving along, Lee Stempniak. Couturier shouldered off by McDonough. Scrappy work on the scrum. Brassard, McDonough, oh, was he ever hit hard. And back out it is brought by Rick Nash. Blocked away by Mason. Chasing it down, and a nice feather move there by Streit. Couturier couldn't handle, but it's given up anyway and shoved back out again by the Swiss-born Mark Streit. Along it can be played by Tanner Glass, but off his stick, and then along to get it is Nick Schultz. He and Streit have become very important to these Flyers this year. Chopped along by Stahl, booted back by Stempniak. He pivots and throws it along where it was protected by Glass and then handed further back.
All Flyer defensemen are really important now. They're down to 5.
We will get word as soon as we can find word on condition of Nicholas Grossman. Flung back along now, and once again it is Streit pumping it ahead. It can be carried back up now by Braden Shen. Shen with lots of moves, tries to work his way by, and a sort of a half shuffle move by the goaltender Talbot effective enough to get at least a piece of it. Dan Boyle out of Miami University got it ahead. St. Louis dropped it on, and Kreider feathered it through. Drove for the net, but it was already in the possession of Mason. One tick below halfway through regulation. 9:59 to go in the second. 15 shots each and a goal each.
Lost Nicholas Grossman earlier in this period. Do you change your approach because of that?
Well, obviously, if we can work their 5 defensemen a little bit more than we have so far, we're going to do it. But, it's been a tight check-in game. There's not a lot of room, and you got to make your own room on the ice.
With your speed game, have you noticed any adjustments they've made to try to take away your speed game?
Well, they're trying to gap up, obviously, and when you gap up, it makes it more challenging. But our guys have got to execute a little bit better than what we have so far.
Thanks a lot, Alain.
Raffl's shot is deflected up into the mesh by Dan Girardi.
They're all business on that Ranger bench, by the way. This game is taking on kind of a playoff feel. And what Alain said, Eddie, and I think you would concur, that there's not a lot of room right now for both teams to make plays.
We hear a lot about gap control, and I know you mentioned that earlier, Eddie. So when we get a moment, maybe you can talk about that a little more.
It's the area of the puck carrier attacking the other team's defenseman. So instead of backing way in and giving them so much time and space, is that you're right up against them and not allowing them that opportunity to make the plays. And that usually happens in between the two blue lines, the area in the neutral zone.
So you don't want wide gaps if you're the defender.
Yeah, I just would like to try to shut off any possibilities instead of just retreating and backing up into your goaltender.
Offside pass stops the clock. Eric Lindros, by the way, celebrating his 42nd birthday today. Ryan McGill, Sean McEachern, Jay Johnston, Jeff Greenlaw, Mikko Makala, Andreas Nodal, Mark Pavelich. Lee Stempniak's twins, Lucy and Reese, are 1 today. And he had to be in Philadelphia, but he's working. And entirely personal. My stepmom, Mary Emmerich, is 90, and a party is planned for tomorrow.
All right, Mary.
Way to go, Mary.
Girardi lobs it back in. Nick Schultz to go and get this.
Well, who's your park for her tomorrow?
That's right. She's a regular sometimes, at least when we're there. This one's sent up high, and it is sent through by Hagelin. So now it's fed back across by LeCavalier and hoisted back in on the bounce and covered by Talbot. Very carefully played here midway in the second period. 9:21 left in it.
Yeah, with all these whistles, offsides, icing, quick freeze there by Talbot, making the right play. It's really tough to get any flow into it. I mean, this game has come to a halt here the last 4 or 5 minutes with the first period. And to start the second, some real good opportunities, trading chances at both ends. I would be shocked if it doesn't open up again at some point here in the very near future.
Zuccarello backhanded it across Brassard in. Save made by Mason. Zuccarello yet again dueling there with Reed. Can be brought back up by the Flyers and given back across to Jake Voracek. Fired it across. Reed is shot off the outside of the net at the post. Rang loudly, didn't it? Out of the scrum, to a side. Forced into Zuccarello, but spiked away from him. Quickly outletted back. Boy, tight defense in this game. And Nash is watched by Delzato. Lots of moves here. Nash holding. Got it to the back. Boyle turning with it there. Boyle threw it along. Curling with it is Brassard. Brassard threw it back. Taken along by Stahl. Ridden to the corner by Voracek. Given back to Nash. Sent one that was off a skate well wide, and Voracek will take it there. Tried to clear out. Bouncer is soccered on by Delzato. Then he scoops it up, but then he had trouble getting through. Forced right back on near him, and then chopped aside, and Voracek moves in. Forced on out to center. 8 1/4 to go second period. Still tied at 1. Dominic Moore. Chased off there by Coburn. Sent on to the back. John Moore, a shot. He scores! John Moore with a blast. It's 2-1 in favor of the Rangers.
Well, the speed of Johnny Moore really creates this. Great forecheck by the Rangers in below the goal line in this area. But watch John Moore. He thinks he can maybe create a chance. Look how low he comes. He comes all the way in. Now he retreats, takes this shot. Not sure if that goes off a Braden Shen or not, but a 2-1 lead for the Rangers.
Hard to see whether that changes direction, but
I think it might have went off of Coburn here, Pierre.
Off the skate.
Yeah.
Off the right skate of Colburn.
Looked like it just changed direction somewhere. But heads up play there from Johnny Moore to jump in, and then all of a sudden he knew he wasn't going to get the puck. He retreated right away. He ended up getting a nice play by Tanner Glass in on the forecheck and on the backhand.
First of the year for John Moore. This one is floated on, and Streit hustles back to get it, wedged off by Stempniak, who took it, and there will be a penalty coming up from that.
High sticking to Stempniak. He got the stick up into Mark Streit's visor. He tried to out-muscle him at the point of attack, and the stick came up. Paul Dvorsky's in the neutral zone. He sees it. Watch Stempniak 12. He's going to try to be big at the point of attack, and there's a stick coming up into the visor of Mark Streit.
Okay, Ranger penalty, 2 minutes, high stick.
And Eddie, here's where it changes directions. Watch the right skate of Braden Colburn. Right there. I loved your point on John Moore, though, Eddie, coming down low and trying to make something happen. A young player looking for some confidence, John Moore. That should help him, Eddie.
Yeah, that's a heads-up play, and more reps, more opportunity to make plays like that.
Voracek poked it along. Back further, Simmons. And it hopped out of play. The marquee guys have not been involved on the score sheet yet, except for a secondary assist on the Flyers' goal by Voracek. Reed and Miller and John Moore, Glass, as well as Dominic Moore and Hagelin have points. Couturier, the primary assist on the goal by Reed. So others we would expect to hear from. Perhaps on this Flyer power play, either shorthanded, and the Rangers have been strong in that, scoring 8 shorthanded goals this year, or the Flyers' very strong power play. Girardi feathered it through, McDonough with it there, recovered nicely and is able to get it along to Dominic Moore. Wanted to get it on through to Hagelin, no luck because of Streit and then Claude Giroux. Nicely guided back in and sent across to Simmons. Wanted to control with a skate, could not. It's sent on through him by McDonough. Controlled by Girardi, roughed up by Simmons. Along to McDonough, has to hurry, gets it back up the boards. And it's brought ahead and an outlet pass to Hagelin. Nudges back on, step on the shot, and that one is protected at the mask and grabbed by Mason.
Man, are the Rangers communicating well deep in their own zone when it comes to clearing the puck. Tons of chatter from the Rangers.
The power play is really not appreciated by the fans just yet. If they score on it, it's amazing how it can change. That one blocked up high, and Del Zotto tries to settle things down. Mentioned earlier, it has been strong this year, just not so far tonight. It's what have you done lately? Rattled on around, and it's Talbot there, slowing it a bit. Played back on to Reed, got it on back to the point. Walked across by Del Zotto and a drive, and a hard drive that was wide. Then Couturier, and then Lecavalier. Vinny Lecavalier got it on back. Del Zotto sets it up. Couturier, and that one is cut off and twisted back down again by Hayes.
Is he ever becoming a force, Kevin Hayes, for the New York Rangers?
Lecavalier stopped that one, has to chase it down though. Lecavalier able to circle, gave it on to the back. Here's Colburn trying to control and then holds. Colburn stashed it on back to Del Zotto. Penalty time up. Rattled around behind Umberger there. Trickled one that went off a skate. Corralled by Lecavalier. Back to Colburn and a shot. Score! The fans' complexion has changed, though it was not a power play goal.
Well, this puck changes directions in front of Cam Talbot. The shot from Colburn, quick little wrister. Yeah, right there. I think Michael Raffl gets a piece of it.
He absolutely did, Eddie. Colburn gets it on goal. There you see it change direction. It tips. It all starts with an aggressive play by R.J. Umberger behind the goal. We got the puck to Lecavalier. You love the slot area presence of Raffl right there. The Austrian puts it to the back of the net.
Mason blocked that one, went out to help. Nudged back up the boards, and Voracek wanted to turn but could not. Kreider stumbles around behind but is able to persist and then is carried off briefly by Colburn. Along it comes to St. Louis. Press to the corner. Aggressive work done here by both teams. in a strong defensive game that is now relaxed enough to have it at 2-2. Hoisted back out again by Coburn and chased down by Dan Girardi. Veteran defenseman for the Rangers connects across to McDonough. Laid one ahead and taken out of the play San Luis by Nick Schultz. Belmar laid it on back. Nearly 4.5 to go in the second. Coburn and LeCavalier assist on the goal by Raffl. Directed on back now for Luke Schenn. Slides it right back carefully across for a pass crisply ahead to Simmons. Gains the zone, got it to Giroux, and a save made carefully by Talbot.
Talbot was not too sure there. They threw a little sneaky peeker.
John Moore, Michael Raffl. Back tied again at 2. There you see the gentlemen who have gotten the goals in this period. In this first regular season, non-outdoor primetime regular season game on any U.S. over-the-air network since January 1974. Bruins and Rangers, Tim Ryan, Ted Lindsay, Brian McFarland, and Peter Puck with the call. Peter did a lot in the intermissions. The other guys worked during the game as we get an icing. So the face-off to come back. Strikes me that this is the type of game the Rangers are very accustomed to, and if the Flyers continue to play, they can win as well. Forced along now by Stahl and tipped back out. Because at times they have gotten their forecheck going, the Flyers have, and the Rangers are just playing effectively with their defensive hockey as they have before. And both teams are getting goals from players that don't normally get a lot of. Forced around behind, and Raffl, one of those, is able to play it there. Raffl got his 14th. He's the high goal scorer of the game tonight. Raffl poked it back along now for Giroux. Threw one across the net mouth wide. And then it's Delzato a shot, and that ricocheted off Talbot and went wide, and then is on back. Raffl from Coburn and LeCavalier. John Moore's goal from Glass and Dominic Moore. Those are the goals in the second period. It's got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in it. And that one directed out of play into Pierre's little cubicle there. Or did it go away? Next Saturday, regardless, a new era in boxing begins live in prime time on NBC. Premier Boxing Champions makes its debut with 2 headline bouts. Don't miss the anticipated debut of Premier Boxing Champions live in prime time next Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, only on NBC. Were we in a different era of the NHL, this would be the perfect lead-in to it. Here's thrown by Klein, shanked loose, and then dug out by Hayes. Hayes spun it around, and a reach there by Umberger, but the take by J.T. Miller. Shut down by Streit, led back ahead. Umberger takes it onside. He's got a man breaking to the net. White, but threw it off Talbot. White cleared to the point, and a shot is geared away and then retrieved by John Moore. Roughed up a bit by Umberger as they battle for the puck, and White is able to skip one that popped on to Klein. 2.5 to go. Hagelin brings it ahead. Speedy winger lets a shot go that's calmly shuffled away to the corner by Mason. And around behind, it's guided on to Luke Schenn. Sped it back up, and it just whacked out to center. Flyers have been very careful about that. Here's Reed, a shot into the catching glove of Talbot.
Good effort there by Sean Couturier. Get that puck up to Matt Reed. I think Matt Reed's had a strong game. First goal of the game for the Flyers, and following up for possible second chance opportunity, but Talbot has the ability to be able to absorb that one and get a whistle.
Reach back in by Stempniak, and around to get it Mason. Right back up it comes. Tipped on to Vandevelde. Can't get out with it though, and it's poked back along, and it's Stempniak turning with it again. But then that's lost and guided on for Belmar, but then on back where Vandevelde played it errantly behind the Cavalier. So Dominic Moore drops it back in. These are the productive lines out here right now for their two teams. Dominic Moore staggered free and threw one that's off the outside of the net at the post. Carefully watching that was Mason. This is nudged back on for a carry back up by the Flyers. Feathered back in by Vandevelde and taken by Stahl. Whacked right back to him again. He's got some trouble there, but Stahl is able to his body in the way and push it along and get it out as far as center and back down. There'll be no icing here. It's well short. Long pass ahead. But it escapes back down. Belmar coming to the bench for a change. Driven around by Girardi. Nicely kept by Delzato with some speed around behind. Delzato circling to the outside. Shoves it on back. Here's Streit. Streit led it across. Giroux couldn't get it. Raffl couldn't. His shot was blocked back and kept by Delzato. And his shot knocked down Raffl. Jammed it to the corner. Along to take it now is Giroux. Given to the back. Delzato again. A lot of jamming at the front. Simmons involved in that. Girardi played it. Delzato drubbed it. Raffl gave it along. Simmons to play there. Outreach by Stepan, comes by, a good crunch there, and it's rescued by Giroux and nicely kept alive and backhanded in by Streit. Jammed around behind, and here's Giroux again. Claude Giroux in the last 27 to the back. Drive, and that knocked down in front. Whacked at, but missed. Carried back out now by Kreider. Charging back up the wing with it. Kreider trying to get through. Streit says no. Streit with a long toss and a chance in his Voracek. Riley chopped up the glass. 5 seconds left in a chaotic finish to the second period. And play is stopped and a slash has been called.
Well, you see the reaction there from Jake Voracek. Long change, second period. The strip from Streit. Here comes Jake Voracek, forehand, backhand, and just fires it up and over the glove of Talbot.
And Eddie Claude Giroux comes in, little whack into the hands, stick broken, graphic evidence, gets penalized for that.
Yeah, not a good penalty by Giroux. Don't put yourself in that spot.
If they win, they'll go to Boyle, 22 there.
That's what they're trying. Brassard right to Boyle.
Didn't work out. And through 2 periods, both teams have scored twice. They played 3 times in the fall in short order. It's been a long time. Doesn't look like it, does it? Stay tuned for the Discover Card second intermission with Liam, Mike, and JR. Blackhawks big trade news. And the Bruins playoff push. 22 shots Flyers, 20 shots Rangers. John Moore, Michael Raffl. In the first period, Matt Reed, JT Miller. Both teams with 2 after 2. 2-2 going into the third. Tomorrow here in Philadelphia is an annual event, the 30th annual Flyers Wives Fight for Lives Carnival. You see all of the fun, and the goalies will let you score on them. Claude Giroux signing some pucks. You get close to the players, get selfies done with them, autographs. It's all a part of a joyous occasion here. It really began after Barry Ashby had passed away from leukemia, a player for the Flyers, back when they participated against the Rangers in one of those 1970s Rock'em Sock'em playoff series. They will have a Ferris wheel that's 65 feet high. I believe that was once Shel Samuelson, who played defense. It seemed like a Ferris wheel back there because he would reach out for you, and he had a wingspan that was halfway across the rink. And he has, of course, been coaching a lot since his retirement. We always look forward to seeing him. But we are underway here in the third period of a Rangers power play that has just barely gotten started with the beginning of this period. It was a late period penalty call against Claude Giroux as that one is spiked back down. Chased down by Brassard. Swatted on around further for St. Louis. And then blocked there. Could not be settled down by Delzato, but can by Brassard. And then Brassard worked it back into Stepan to the back now to Boyle. Across for St. Louis and a save made by Mason.
Oh, good save there from Mason, moving right to left. And I think this puck was on edge when St. Louis let it go. As Dan Boyle gets his puck in the middle of the ice. Good setup by the Rangers. Boyle's going to move it over, and Mason's able to track that puck.
timing has to be very difficult because you can practice all you want. He came out, all 3 goaltenders that they had, including Rob Zepp before he was placed on waivers today, came out and took shots before practice even began this morning at 10:30. Off this draw, it's brushed but not out by Reed, nubbed on down, and it can be swatted on out as far as center, and so pressure off for a moment, but still a minute 20 to go on this Rangers power play. Flyers got the first goal from Reed, answered by Miller quickly. Then John Moore put the Rangers ahead in the second period, answered by Raffl less than 3 minutes later. San Luis brings it on, tried to block one back. It's forced back to the corner, and Luke Schenn takes over there. Cut off by Brassard. But Reed with a quick stick there, and he's able to fight his way free. Brings it out with Couturier. Couturier with a shot that ricocheted along. Can be battled for there, and then Couturier able to strip it further and throw it back to Del Zotto. Couturier lugging it right back in again. Holds, delays, got it to Del Zotto. He scores!
What a shot by Michael Del Zotto after a terrific play by Sean Couturier through the middle of the ice. Wait. Del Zotto, right part of your screen. Finds that open space, gets it, and as Talbot goes down, Del Zotto goes upstairs.
That's the composure I'm used to seeing from Sean Couturier with the puck, and that looks like Michael Del Zotto when he was drafted out of Oshawa by the New York Rangers, jumping into the rush and shoot pucks on goal.
Belmar, but then peeling off with it is McDonough. Couturier's line has 9 of the game's 15 chances for the Flyers. Very impressive, forced along by Mason. 15 seconds still to go, and the minor penalty to Giroux. They hustle and try to clear, they get it to center. McDonough gloves it down there and turns it on for Hayes to give back to him. 2 seconds and 1. And we are back even as out of the box is Giroux. Couturier, the lone assist at 1:19 of the period. On the shorthanded goal that was scored by Del Zotto. Been pretty impressive for him. He has found the right place for him here in Philadelphia.
And part of that, Doc's Gord Murphy, the assistant coach, it's really done a nice job turning him loose. They've unleashed Michael Del Zotto, and he's really comfortable playing under the tutelage of Gord Murphy.
Swept to the back, another shot went wide. The try coming from Strike. Good hit on Raffl. McDonough for the Rangers, nudging it back on. Ryder brought it further and sent one that snuffed right back out and carried on. Wayne Simmons dropped it back in and rushed back in to get it. Moves in there with Stahl, punched back up for JT Miller, dropped to the front, it slithered through Simmons, and Simmons goes after Klein. Then JT Miller, and then Dominic Moore skyhooks one back to center, and it's guided on, but on through where it can be sent back, and Giroux is there to play it. Claude Giroux from the checkered line into the catching glove of Talbot, and it's shoved over to Klein. Kevin Klein brought it ahead and handed it on. Carried back in by Miller. Slams on the brakes, got some room, but then it's quickly turned over to Umberger and then handed back out. Luke Schenn gave it back over to Brayden Schenn, and that shot ricocheted wide. Back along it is Miller. Brought back ahead by Hagelin. Given across to Dominic Moore, and that one carefully grabbed and then put back down to the ice and paddled away by Mason. Long toss ahead, brought on by Couturier. Voracek moving in too. Bodied off there by Boyle. Back up the boards it comes. Zuccarello slides it back across. Kick to control by Nash. Delays and feeds one. Shot save made by Mason. Oh, a strong save made there on a brilliant opportunity. Brassard moving up on the play.
Nice play by Nash.
Again, you said that a lot tonight, Eddie.
This is Reed. Tucked it along. Voracek moving on. And he can't get by Klein. JT Miller, but that went loose. Voracek got it. Couturier a shot. Rattled around. Oh, and Reed stopped by Talbot. And it is cleared back down. Hustling back is Strite, and icing is called.
Remember that last stop
by Talbot on Reed, right in front. Giveaway by JT Miller in his own zone. Shot, never gets through, and then that pad save, the left pad at Talbot. Reed just not able to elevate that shot.
This is the most confidence I've seen Sean Couturier play with it for a very long time. And I think that's one of the things that's really helping Matt Reed.
Went across the net mouth and can be brought back up again by Miller. Miller forced it back in and went in after it, but reaching first is Coburn. Nudged off by Miller, but he outreached him and passed it back up where there's still some traffic, and Belmar will try to plow through that. French-born Philadelphia Flyer gives it on across now for Nick Schultz, and Schultz can step ahead and bang it back in. A lot of dump and chase in this game, trying to generate something. Talbot able to guide that one away from the stick of Luke Schenn. And Del Zotto handles it there. 8th goal of the year from Del Zotto. Couturier, his second primary assist of the night. So Boyle glides after this one. And scaled it off the glass, and a chance for Stepniak. Save made by Mason. Rebound kicked right back into him again by Luke Schenn.
Stepniak had 2 goals the other night against Arizona when they beat them at the Garden. And he was thinking, I'm going to score again to tie this thing up. Bad luck for Luke Schenn. His stick breaks. Right there, he's got to drop him. Stepniak with a quick release, and then all kinds of chances on Steve Mason, and he shuts the door.
Half a game of return experience in Toronto 2 nights ago, and then a strange one at the 7-second mark, but largely an artistic performance by the man in goal for Philadelphia. And the same can be said of Cam Talbot, who just continues to deliver in the absence of Henrik Lundqvist. Fed on through and can be dragged back up. Nice hustle there by Giroux to bring it ahead and fire one that went wide. Hopped over to Simmons. Simmons a shot, and that one was off the mark. Curls all the way back out and can be grabbed by Coburn. Under 14 and a half to go in the 3rd period of play. The shot's even at 26. And Del Zotto's goal has broken the tie in the favor of the Flyers. Bounces back in on goal, and Mason will cover, and play is stopped. Time to look at what's ahead on the schedule, Mr. O.
Well, tomorrow it'll be the Ducks and Stars on NBCSN, and then Tuesday night the Buffalo Sabres will visit the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then Wednesday night rivalry where Rangers will be in Detroit to take on the red-hot Red Wings, who had a great 6-game road trip, ended this afternoon with a big win in Nashville.
Imagine taking 9 or 12 points on that trip. You got to do the tap dance through California and end up in Nashville. That's a heck of a road trip for Mike Babcock and the Wings.
Bouncer goes away from White and down on goal, and Talbot will cover this one and get a halt to play. The Calgary Flames are watching here tonight in person. Coaching staff is here. They do not play here until Tuesday. Wonder if they'll tour the art museum while they're here.
They're going to go over to Johnny Goudreau's house in Jersey. Team dinner over there, don't you think, Eddie and Doc?
Might be the place. At one time, the Flyers had a spot called Rexy's over in Audubon.
Well, if you're going to do that beer, you better invite the broadcasters.
That's true.
That's true.
Turning with this is Ryan White. Dropped on back, and it's Girardi. Girardi slipped it on for McDonough to settle things down. Banks a pass that's ladled on by Hayes, and then can be played along by Luke Schenn. Hayes tried to feather through, no luck. Flyers as far as center, but then lose possession, and it's angled back in by McDonough. Very rudimentary play here, just dumping and chasing both teams, very careful defensively. Punched ahead now by Matt Reed. Reed trying to get further, sealed up by John Moore, and it skied high, did not hit the scoreboard, and stays in play.
If you're the Flyers, you don't want to sit back. You want to try to continue to play on your toes, generate, and play 200 feet away from Steve Mason.
Here comes Voracek, lost it though, and then got it back again, punched aside by Talbot, led on back to Coburn. Coburn flipped one that's off a Ranger stick and hops along to the turning Brassard, and Brassard's pass kicked off a stick but is sent further by Boyle.
And the other thing, the Flyers are down to 5 defensemen because of the injury to Grossman, so Eddie's points well taken. Get the puck down to the other end, not as much grinding on your defense.
Brought ahead by Couturier, given on to Voracek. Sailed one that hopped to the corner. Couturier hovers on that one. Dropped it along for Voracek. Pursued by Stahl. Voracek able to nicely control, but then lost it as far as center, so settles it down there. Voracek turning and lofting it right back in. It's paddle stopped there and set aside by Talbot. Stahl smoked out. Bangs a pass to St. Louis. Then given up to the Flyers and poked off the short glass at center near Raffl. Girardi hands it across. McDonough flexes it ahead. It's tipped right back in again by Kreider. Fielded by Mason. Hurries it along. And it sailed down off of Kreider, who played it all the way back. Girardi, a drive blocked off. Oh, what a challenging block that was from Raffl. And then it went away from Girardi, but is covered by McDonough. Handed over again to Schultz. Grabbed off by Stepan and sent wide. More probing continues. Van de Velde had that one hacked down by Stempniak, and the stick was high. Play stopped with 11:43 to go in the third. It was 2-2, but a minute 19 in, Michael Del Zotto made it 3-2, the home team. Art Ross Trophy race has John Tavares of the Islanders and Jake Voracek of the Flyers tied now, 65 points apiece. Nicholas Backstrom is one back, and the injured Patrick Kane of Chicago one back. Backstrom of Washington. Off this tie-up, it is punched away and can be dragged along. And then sent back to Del Zotto. Fires, and a pad stop is made by Talbot. Thrown to the front of the net, it rattled around past Talbot, stoked on by John Moore. Cannot be cleared by Dominic Moore, but is dragged out and then lofted back on where Moore can play to Moore. And then back to play it Moore is Del Zotto. Floated one along that's blocked aside there by Van de Velde. He's still digging with LeCavalier, but then Stempniak comes by to take it. Dropped back in again by Dominic Moore. Backhand play made by Mason. Turned right back was Belmar, so it has to be Luke Schenn. Schenn just stepping in tonight after missing 4 as a healthy scratch. This one lobbed back along and can be pitched back in again by Dominic Moore as he comes to the bench for a change. Nearing the halfway point of the third period. Carl Hagelin to the back. Miller across. McDonough threw one wide of the waving stick of Girardi. He wants it again, but it's Hagelin with it. Fires, and it's blocked off in front and then can be picked up by Streit. Mark Streit is able to shovel one that went off Belmar's stick. Corralled there at center and carried right back in by Hayes. New Englander steps free. Drags it across. Gives it over. Girardi's shot is answered by Mason.
Good shift here for the third line. High stick coming here on Streit. Clip JT Miller.
They'll check him to see how much.
What a shift, though, for the third line. Hagelin, Hayes, Miller. Doc, you made mention of the one shot by McDonough looking for Girardi. So I think that kind of shows where the Rangers are on their offensive sets, to getting a defenseman involved down low and trying to generate a third goal. And there you see the tip of the stick get right into the side of the face there of JT Miller.
Streit sits. Face-offs in this period. The Flyers have won 7 of 9. They need to win one here defensively to get things started on the penalty kill. They are trailing by manpower by 1, but they are leading in the game by 1 thanks to the goal by Del Zotto. And John Moore will take over. He's got Brassard flying to the front, getting in stride, and it's played back up and carried on by Zuccarello. Flops it in and goes in to get it with Schultz. They cancel. Coburn put it off John Moore and down. 30 gone on this power play. Little over 9.5 to go, third period of play. The Rangers can win this. They will tie the Islanders for the Metropolitan Division lead. If the Flyers win it, they'll keep pace with the other teams, Florida and Boston, who have won today. Boston holding the last wild card.
The Rangers would have 3 games in hand.
That's a potential 6. And even if you don't get all of them, you get some of them.
Better an effort by Pierre-Edouard Bellemare there to separate Marty St. Louis from the puck.
Hayes brought it on, got it on to Stepan. Oh, just over the glove hand of Mason. Thrown stiffly, and Coburn, who's had quite a game tonight defensively, is able to persist again and clear this down. So it is McDonough. 37 to go on the power play. 8 3/4 minutes to go, third period. Could not be filtered through by St. Louis. McDonough brought it back, got it to Girardi, and again it goes into the corner. This time it's occupied by Delzato, who moves along, ridden off by McDonough, and a chance for the Flyers to come back. St. Louis drops back with Girardi as a defenseman, peeling to the outside with it, and then circling is Claude Giroux. Giroux dropped it on down in the last 7 of the penalty kill for his team, and Couturier will just skate it out, and the fans like the penalty kill. Couturier now brings it in, wants to pull the trigger, bump there. It's guided away by Stahl. Retrieved by Klein, given to Stahl. Full strength action here with 8 minutes to go in the third. Dominic Moore brings it on. Surrounded by Flyers, pushes it over Miller. Got it on through, trying to jam his way to the front. Was Stahl, but forced to the corner by Schultz. Stahl around behind, fed one, stiffly it goes, and can be carried back up by Simmons. Simmons steps free, trying to work his way in. Taken to the board by J.T. Miller. Moore battling, and Miller reaches in. Tip to the front, and Klein got it.
Heck of a job there by J.T. Miller, filling in for Mark Stahl, who jumped into the offensive rush there. And Miller back skating and then went over lateral and just took Simmons right out. Beautiful job.
All about the angle.
Blocked away by Mason from the toss by Brassard. Luke Schenn muscled it back out to Braden Schenn, but then it's turned over to Nash. Brought back along by Zuccarello, gotten on to Brassard. Fed back, shot, save, rebound! Oh, and another save made by Mason. Scrambles back to his feet, Morris shot, and that one blocked off. Scramble for it there, jam side of the net, he stopped Nash! Now it is Boyle, and the fans at that end are standing just now, sitting back down from a tremendous play around in front now, jammed at, another save, another shot, he's got that one too! All around that net, but not in. Steve Mason, remarkable.
Well, welcome back to Philadelphia. Steve Mason is back, and in a big way. Couple of great chances. Zuccarello with a chance. Johnny Moore gets a shot blocked. Chance for Zuccarello. A chance for Rick Nash. Tremendous left pad save. And the Rangers are still with it. John Moore gets his puck at the point. Zuccarello. Now Moore's going to come to the right part of your screen. There's a chance off the skate of Brassard. And then the last chance by John Moore. And finally a whistle. Tremendous goaltending by Steve Mason.
McDonough away from Giroux, met by Raffl. His stick loose, but he gets it back again. Meanwhile, Miller couldn't get it through Stepan, and the play was offside. We've just started 6 weeks of live PGA Tour coverage on Golf Channel and NBC. We began at PGA National and will continue up to the year's first major at Augusta. Coverage of the Honda Classic continues tomorrow 1 Eastern on Golf Channel and 3 Eastern on NBC.
Alain Vigneault's not messing around. He's taking Kreider off the line with Stepan and St. Louis, and he's really gone with J.T. Miller. He thinks J.T. Miller's got something in the gas tank.
Right, second effort, flexed along by Schultz and punched back out by LeCavalier. Hayes spun it back in off of Schultz and then Mason. Guided along by Streit. LeCavalier couldn't handle. Poked back by Hayes. Spun, but it ricocheted back off, and LeCavalier saw it shoved on back, and now it is thrown back in again by Van de Velde, and it went out of play. There is no penalty for that, but it winds up stopping the clock with 6 minutes even to go in the third.
And I think a bit of a shorter bench, Eddie, for the New York Rangers right now, trying to get something going. You talked about their defense activating. We'll see a lot of that going forward.
Voracek is out there with Couturier and Reed. They have 10 scoring chances in the game. The Flyers only with 3 this period, however, as along comes Couturier, punched along now for Voracek. Met there and shoved by Brassard. Down goes Voracek. Still scrapping for the puck, and it has turned along now to Klein. Klein lobs one to center that is carefully blocked down and rifled ahead. Voracek tried to slug it further, Klein in the way. Then Reed and back in and around for Talbot to handle. Hurries it back up the boards and waiting for it as Nash through the legs, though, is read by Reed and then given back over, and eventually Del Zotto can fire it back around again. And more time goes off the clock. 5:20 to go. Raffl comes out now. Still out there is Giroux. This is brought back ahead by Dominic Moore. Feathered it on through, and a shot by Stempniak off a stick and guided away by Streit. Another shot was blocked down, and limping a bit is Giroux. Meanwhile, Giroux hustles to that one, took the hit, got it to Streit, on to Raffl, played up the wing and shut it down, and then foisted back in again by Simmons. It is Girardi, then McDonough. Rangers march ahead. Glass hands it on. Dominic Moore closed off. Raffl on the defensive again, and it is McDonough, and then Girardi. 4 3/4 minutes to go. Hoisted back in by Girardi wide. Coburn passed one along. Hayes able to get it there, though. Hayes with good work along the boards, and then he pushed it to the opposite side. Miller moves in there, whacked into him by Schultz. What a scrum here. Settled down and turned by Hagelin. It squibbed behind the net because of Coburn. And then LeCavalier holds, wants to clear it back out, gets it back down the ice, but it will go for an icing.
Well, Lee Stempniak coming all the way across, trying to skate away and shoot that puck towards Steve Mason. Don't believe it ever gets towards. It ever hits Mason because of the shot block there from Wayne Simmons standing right in front. A little help there from Luke Shen.
Craig Berube's called a timeout because of that icing. The Rangers are coming with some live legs, some different people. So Craig Berube wants everybody on his team to get a little rest and know exactly what they're supposed to do.
Pierre mentioned Gord Murphy. He is the guy with the check tie there on the right. Played for the Flyers as well as the Florida Panthers. A couple of the better teams that he had played for during his time. Was especially good at holding pucks in. He did drilled around the boards. He'd be at his point position as a defenseman and keeper. And so we wait through the timeout and the dramatic ride to the finish. If tied, there will be 5 minutes of sudden death overtime. If still tied, there will be a shootout. But the game is not tied right now. Important draws. Belmar wades in with Brassard. Got position and shoved it off Mason's stick behind. And cleared back out into the glove of Vandevelde. Tried to drive it on. Belmar came by and helped out, finesse through traffic, but then lost to Zuccarello. Moving back in, he's got a man breaking Brassard. Zuccarello wiped out, puck in front, and then it's cleared back down the ice. And the Flyers will take an icing there from a scary situation for them.
Well, unfortunately for Matt Zuccarello, as he goes to cut back from his backhand to his forehand, he loses an edge. He had lots of space. Watch Zuccarello. He can cut outside to inside. He's got a chance to go and make a play, and he loses an edge. He had Schultz going by him. If he can hold on to that edge, he got himself a heck of a chance.
Fed to the back. It is kept there by McDonough and shoved over. San Luis a shot, and it went wide. Pinballed out the opposite side. Jammed along by Vandevelde. Belmar turns there. Bumped off, though, by San Luis. Then back to Belmar. That one whipped on back on the bounce. Tough play for Stepan. And then turned right back for San Luis to hand across. Girardi closed off there. Puck trickles back in for Kreider to play, but he's chased off. And so the Flyers are able to sky it back out from Belmar, and McDonough will retrieve well short of icing, so the Flyers can get the change they wanted. San Luis swaggers by one, and then it's just bumped off the puck. Voracek able to roar back up the wing, hands it back over now for Matt Reed, and Reed a shot and directed on a cross. San Luis after that one, but it's chopped away from him by Streit, brought back up by Stepan. And Stepan shoves one that's carefully blocked down and then covered by Mason with 3:04 to go. Third period of play. A one-goal game in Philadelphia. The home team is ahead. Here, player profile with insights from SAP. Points per 20 minutes in the league. Malkin, Johnson, Cheroff, Voracek, and Nash are both 1.12 points in 20 minutes. Nash does not have a point tonight. Voracek does. That man's grandfather was the last Ranger to win the Art Ross Trophy for most points, Brian Hextall, in 1942. No Flyer has ever won that title outright. And a penalty coming up off of this. With 3:01 to go, they're checking on a Flyer, and a Ranger will sit for 2 minutes at least.
Martin Streit, sorry, Eddie.
Yeah. Carl Hagelin's making the skate over to the penalty box. Right part of your screen. Yeah, right there. It's the second time now Streit's caught a stick up around the face.
And the Flyers are going on the
Flyers have been able to force one shot on goal on 2 power plays. But it's late in the game. It's a dramatic finish. They have the man advantage for 2 of the last 3 minutes. It's thrown to the front, nicely booted away by the captain, Ryan McDonough. Girardi reaching in there. It's punched on back to the point. Streit able to hold and play further. Around it comes to Simmons. Jams it the other way. Waiting is Voracek. Send it right back, but it's blocked off by McDonough, and McDonough can sail it back out. Streit shrugged it down there and is able to just drift on back and get reinforcements back in stride. Voracek takes the stride. Streit with the heart around, and it slipped back around to Braden Shen. Punched it around behind. Simmons battles for it there. Got it on through, and it's taken further to the outside now by Giroux. Giroux settles it down and gave it back to Streit. Then it's led back across. Hurried shot is blocked away by Nash. Taken to the outside now and led on back to Voracek. Then across to Streit, then handed on to Giroux. Giroux fed, and shanking that one with Braden Shen. It's chopped away from the reach of Nash. Battled for there by Simmons. Duels with Girardi. Puck winds up underneath him. Still they battle, taken along. But then pivoting with it is Braden Shen. Tried to get it to Giroux and did. Giroux in traffic. Waits. Shoots. Fought down by Talbot. He got his glove on it. 42 seconds to go on the penalty kill, and Talbot came up strong. Now Voracek again, dropping it back off in the last minute, 35 of regulation time. Half a minute to go on the power play to Philadelphia. Reed nudges ahead, and along glides LeCavalier. Holes and some fakes. Tucks it on back now to Delzato, and Delzato with a shot that is blocked up high and pops along now for Umberger. Then back to LeCavalier, dueling there with Tanner Glass. Shoulder into Stahl, and coming loose with it, Umberger. Pivots there, lays it onto the back. It's walked along now by Delzato, and a shot deflected side of the net did not go! How did that not go in? LeCavalier at the side of the net with 1 minute to go. Delzato holds there. Delzato twisted it around, penalty timeout. Drive, and that ricocheted wide. Now it's Coburn, a shot grabbed out of the air by Talbot. 52.1 to go, and he has kept his team in this one.
How does Vinny LeCavalier miss that? You can see the reaction. He shoots it back in between Talbot and the far post. He could have settled that down, put it on his forehand, and just put it right into the wide open net.
Looked like Sean Couturier in the first period. Same side of the net, same net.
Off the face-off, it is taken and sent off the glass, but gloved down by Raffl. Raffl's shot is held by Talbot, who will trust that his team can win this next face-off. They have not done well in draws in this period. They lost 12 of the first 14 in this period. Couturier and Brassard. Tucked behind Couturier, just took a glance there, is Nick Schultz. Got it there for the tap back to Schultz from Raffl. Around it comes to Couturier. Drifting with it now. Sent one, and it ricocheted across the net mouth wide. And now the Rangers can fan it out in the last 33. Talbot is stepping to the hash marks, now charging to the bench. It is Nash drifting with it now. Nash fed it across, shanked down there, tucked along by Couturier, but played back by Miller. Walked across by McDonough. Gives it across now to Brassard. A log jam drifting near the front. Brassard to the back. McDonough fakes the drive. Brassard a shot, and it's blocked down and chopped back out to center. 10 seconds to go. McDonough rifles one on. It's corralled by Couturier. Dealt back off. They have to delay and they can't play it back in. It's tucked across to Simmons. 1 second, he scores with 3/10 of a second to go.
Well, Wayne Simmons waits till last possible second to hit this empty netter right between the legs of Ryan McDonough.
A huge win for Philadelphia because Florida and Boston above them won as well. 70 shots in the game, 36 by the Rangers, 6 goals, 4 by the Flyers. Hard-earned points, numbers 64 and 65. And on a rare night when Islander fans love the guys in orange. They hold on to first. The Rangers remain 2 out. Michael Delzato is with Pierre.
Thanks very much, Doc. Your playoff hopes are still alive. Take us through the mindset of your team before this game and during the game.
Well, obviously a huge rivalry, emotional win for us. We had to play with desperation, with a lot of urgency, and we did that tonight, and we came out on top, and huge 2 points.
You lost Nicholas Grossman in the second period. You're down to 5 defensemen. They're pushing the pace. How hard is it to play in a game like that?
Yeah, tough minutes against a team like that with a lot of speed, great transition game, but shows the character of our team, you know, with Rossi going down, us stepping up and getting the win.
Michael, it looks like you're having a ton of fun playing. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. The coaching staff showing trust in me, putting me out there in all situations, and it's fun playing with these guys. You know, I said from day one, closest group of guys I've ever played with, and just a treat to battle with these guys every night.
Your goal was a huge play in the game. Take us through it.
Kind of a PK, end of his shift, I think, for them. Coots had it, kind of tried being a little sneaky there. He made a great pass, and I think Talbot just over-pushed a little bit. I picked my spot, and was happy to win in.
Does it mean a little bit more to you because you beat the team that traded you away?
I'd be lying, but I said it wasn't. It was very emotional playing against these guys every single time. Happy I was able to contribute and help the team win.
Thanks for doing this, Michael. Keep having fun.
Thanks for having me.
Doc.
There is time for more here in Philadelphia, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. Final score, the Flyers win at 4-2, a critical victory for them.